Hi and welcome along to AFTV. We have a big announcement. We have signed our player, Nuno Tavares, or Tavares as you've been saying, James, has signed for Arsenal from Benfica. They have got their man. There was quite a lot of teams after him, but he has decided to sign for Arsenal. And he will come in as a left-back cover for Kieran Tierney, or we say left-back cover. I think it's a guy that might feature a lot when you consider the amount of injuries that Kieran Tierney picked up last season. It's a very positive signing. We needed a left-back. We saw last season that, we struggled when Kieran Tierney was out. There was a big drop-off, you notice over on that side, a big drop-off when Kieran Tierney was not in. There was a lot of talk about Arsenal possibly moving for like a Ryan Bertrand and more experienced players like this, but they've gone for this youngster. They've taken a gamble on him. He's seen as a real hot prospect, and he has joined Arsenal Football Club. And James, what do you know about Nuno Tavares?
Well, that left-back profile that they wanted, and what we're talking about when we say profile. I read somewhere, I want to get this confirmed, but a pretty reliable source, that because he's born in the year 2000, he doesn't register as he registers as a homegrown player, or he doesn't register in that kind of, over 21s basically, which is obviously good for the squad. He's only 21 years old. He's got European experience. He played for Benfica, played against us actually. Yeah,
he did play against us in the Europa League.
And he's that kind of marauding left back, exciting in the final third. Unlike, I came clean about Lokonga, that I didn't know anything about him before we signed him. With Tavares, I had heard of him. I'd known about him for a good year or two. He's sort of considered a good prospect coming out of Portuguese football. Played for the under-21s Portugal team, and he gets goals. A few, but he can be effective in the final third. I think Benfica fans are happy. Let's be straight about this. Benfica fans are happy to see the back of him because of some off-field issues, I think. So it'll be interesting to see whether maybe there's something there, but I'm sure Arteta and Edu have done their research, and we'll know everything about the player. I'm just really excited we've got a player who can come in and be genuine cover for Tierney. None of this Cedric, who's right-footed but he's having to slot in, or Xhaka, who's actually going to play more in a back three. Just a player gets injured or can't play, fine, you bring in a ready-made replacement to come in and do the same job. And as much
keep
I love
the balance of the team.
Keep the balance, yeah. Keep the balance
of the team. If he's coming in, like you said, marauding. And we know that Arteta, that's the type of player that he wants in that position. We know that Kieran Tierney, that's what he does. And hopefully this kid can come in as well and learn off of Kieran Tierney, because Kieran Tierney is going to be the number one in that position.
Yeah.
But he will get a lot of game time because, number one, Kieran Tierney, as we know, is prone to injuries. It's a fact.
Yeah.
And even if he's not injured, he's a player that needs to be managed, so that he doesn't incur other injuries. So I guess, he'll get a lot of game time.
I would think so, and I would think with whoever Arteta and Edu targeting in this position, they would be targeting them with the assumption that they're gonna have to be ready to play some games. Tierney in Scotland's sort of Euros, tour ended quite quickly. But will he be getting that little bit of extra time off because he played at the Euros potentially? Will he be ready for the start of the season? Yeah, every chance he will be. But I'm just saying, you got to think about these things. Tierney will always be called up for international duty. He'll always be playing those games. Any big game, Old Trafford, a cup semi-final, whatever, he will be there. And we alluded to it with Lokonga as well. Maybe there's not that kind of, what you call, European football and opportunities to blood these youngsters. They got to be ready to contribute immediately.
Yeah. Do you think Arsenal should maybe have gone for a more experienced player in this position? There was talk of Ryan Bertrand and targets like this, but they've opted for this youngster. Do you think that's the right move?
Yes, because of our history with signing players in the twilight of their career who maybe aren't.
Willian.
Yeah, let's be real. Petr Cech. I thought David Luiz was actually a success, but still didn't elevate us like you'd hope a Saliba or a Gabriel or a Ben White or whatever would. So I do get the argument for why Bertrand and Van Arnold were out there. They're ready, that they're Premier League ready, and also they're only like 30, 31. So it's not that you're getting a player who's far off his prime. But then with this Tavares guy, I mean, I think Arsenal, I like the profile of player they're going for this summer. They're targeting players who you pay whatever you're paying, maybe a little bit over, but, well, actually, the Tavares deal was only supposedly 8 million quid. But there's maybe a resale value. And I don't want to be talking about players we just signed and saying, oh, one day we'll sell them for good money. But that's
But you do have to think about that as well, because we've seen over the years that Arsenal, practically every player we buy, we end up losing money on.
Absolutely. Look what Liverpool have been doing, and doing it quite effectively. Even Chelsea, even if they spend a lot of money, they recoup a lot of it back when they move them on. I think there's an understanding from Arsenal that they need to get the profile right. Players that are hungry to improve, hungry to play for Arsenal, hungry to play for their country. It does strike me. We only had 4 players at the Euros. Was it even 4? Yeah, and I do think we want to get more internationals. We want to get more players who've got their potential, and you feel that they're going to sort of grow beyond where they are now. Too often, I think we're signing players that we think they can contribute now. You look recently, I'm not saying they've not been successes, but Lacazette, Aubameyang, Pepe, Partey, they're not, some of them have been great. Cedric even, married, but they're not getting better. We're kind of getting them either at their best or on a decline. And I think that's where maybe there's been a change in strategy. So I'm personally happy with Tavares and at least the profile, because I'm no expert on him. But in terms of sort of what I have seen, because as I said, I knew about him before and what I do know the player, I think he's someone who can easily slot in as that marauding left back, effective in the final third. And let's see.
Okay, well, we're going to see. Of course, it's a signing, and it's what we want to see at Arsenal. We know that this team needs refreshing, especially going into this season, which is going to be a different season. No European football, but young, hungry players. That seems to be the profile of what Arsenal are targeting right now. And I want to welcome him along to the club. We say here on AFTV, welcome to Arsenal, Nuno Tavares. Do the business at the club. We welcome you. Let's hope you have a great time. And we want to know from you guys, what do you think of this signing? Is it a good signing? What have you seen of him playing over there in Portugal, if you follow the Portuguese league? Do you think he'll fit the system at Arsenal? Will Arteta be able to get the best out of him? Want to hear your comments. Or do you think maybe we should have went for somebody else with a bit more experience who can fill in this position? Want to find out in general if you're happy with this signing. But welcome to Arsenal, Nuno Tavares.